I was just answering his questions. He goes, "How's the vision?" I was like, "Yeah, I can't see." He said to the doctor, "Doc, he said he can't see." He made me cover my eye, and I said, "Yeah, I can't see." And then he goes, "If I stop the fight, it's going to go to a no contest." And in the moment, again, I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Like, not realizing that answering him is going to obviously do damage to me. Um, and I've said, "Yeah," and he's waved the fight off. But at no moment did I ever say I want the fight stopped. I'm not good to continue. I was just answering the questions in the moment, and I get it. I know how it looks. And then when the crowd started going crazy, whatever, I panicked even more. I started getting more like, what's going on here? And then they put me in front of a microphone and asked me questions, and I was like, no. I said it was blurry, not I can't see, and that's where I fucked up. And I get it. I understand why people say what they say and whatnot, and people. I take accountability for that, and people, hard earned money goes onto these pay per views and tickets, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the cut that was the issue. I actually did damage to the eye, and for me, and like Tim Zoo the other day, everyone's saying, "Oh, the fight when you can't see the fights get stopped," but for me, it was different for some reason. I guess I'm the villain, and for whatever reason, I can't have that same, same treatment.
I
But
get it,
yeah,
mate.
but
A lot of them, sorry, mate.
no,
A lot of them, you know, get a cushy ride, and um, I think you've been hard done by in the media, by the people. You've copped a lot of shit, and some of the stuff is not. It's just not acceptable. Plain and
yeah,
simple.
like it's a sport at the end of the day, and not only that, mental health is real, and there's a lot of like AFL player, a lot of athletes that go through it, and and I always say you're only one comment. You don't know what someone's going through, and I've got tough skin, but you're only one comment or one message or whatever it is away from making someone do something stupid, well, life's as hard as it is, with all the crises we have every second day, like it's free to be nice, you know what I mean, and I take accountability. I said, I get how it looks, but at the end of the day, like I was actually going through something. Mate, my vision comes first. You know what I mean? Like in such a big fight,
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
and,
You
and
can't
headbutt.
risk you can't risk permanent damage moving forward. And what people have got to realise behind the athlete, there's, you know, Michael Zerafa's got a family. He's got life after boxing. So boxing, whilst it's been a long part of your life and journey, it comes to an end at some stage. And Michael Zerafa needs to be able to do something else, with his life. So, in my opinion, and I'm one person, but I think you were 2 rounds up. I think you were looking sharp, and I think you would have gone on to win the fight. And what people also don't realise is that if this was called off after round 4, Michael Zerafa wins the fight. So I just wanted to let our viewers understand that, in the heat of battle, people can say things. There's adrenaline running, through your body when you're in the ring, and you say all sorts of things. I've said certain shit to my trainer, and I've also been, I've got knocked down once pretty severely in my one and only boxing fight when I tried to cross paths, and I was telling him I'm fully there, I'm ready to go, mate. I was out of it. So you
Mm.
need someone to sort of, wind you back into line. And whether that's that way or the other way, we sometimes say things that we probably shouldn't say. And
Yeah,
as you
yeah,
said, you probably, fucked up your wording, but it's, that's not, and you also talk about, the money people pay for the show. But at the end of the day, this people's health runs a lot deeper than, $50. So,
100%.
uh,
I know when they interviewed me, that's what I mean. Like I was saying, it was blur because I was speaking on it, I could, what I was going through, and I remember saying I can't see, and then when he asked me, I was like, no, blurry, and I couldn't because I was going with what I was actually going through, and it was like someone poked me in the eye, and that like feeling you get, but it wasn't coming back, and I was like, fuck, what's going on here? Like I've done something in my eye, and obviously getting scans later that night, I had a 6 out of 20 vision, and